What's going on, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. All right, we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin price action and give you an idea of where Bitcoin is going to go over the course of the next week. So we'll take a look at that. I'm going to take a look, drill down to the 4-hour chart here and show you guys where I think this is going to bounce at. We're also going to take a look at the VWAP levels so you have those levels to know where support and resistance is for Bitcoin regarding those. We haven't looked at crypto fear and greed in a while, so we're going to take a look at that real quick. And then we're also going to look at the cycle repeat graph and kind of compare where we are compared to where we would expect to be this point in the cycle. And as a reminder, guys, we have our Black Friday specials. These only come out once a year. I know we run specials throughout the year, but these are extra low. We only do this at this time of the year. So if you want to get in the room with us and trade the binary options, get our trade signals that are handpicked, you can do that for $2.99 a year. Well worth it. Binary options, if you guys aren't familiar with those, we do those while we're waiting for the other like crypto swing trades to happen in our crypto trade room. And then Bob runs the ETF room. But the binary options are really cool because they end in a specific time. So we might be in a trade for 45 minutes, maybe a couple of hours. But at the end of that time frame, we're done. The trade's over. So unlike crypto or stocks where you might be swing trading and you're not sure how long you're going to be in that trade because you're shooting for a target, these end very quickly. So it's actually amazing how much money you can make off of a very small starting capital. So while we're waiting around for those other swing targets to hit, we're grinding these out, and I would think you'd be very pleasantly surprised. So join us in that room. Check out what we're doing in there. Otherwise, we have our courses, and if you want our indicators to do your own discretionary trades, and we show you how to set those up, you can get our special number 3. But these are specially discounted for Black Friday. Only happens once a year. I suggest you guys check them out. All right, guys, let's dive into this video.
Trade Genius.
Okay, so Bitcoin, weekly chart. We have been in this range here between this bearish fib zone and this bullish fib zone, which seems like forever. Essentially, once we made this top, we drew this bullish fib zone. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, it's just the Fibonacci levels, right, that we pull from high to low or low to high. And it gives us basically that spot where the fib numbers align. And generally, you'll see price move into those zones and then bounce away from them. So if you're going back up into it from this high to low, then we get into these levels and we push down. Likewise, if we're going from low to high, we move up into these levels and pull back into the fib zone, and then we get a bounces, which is what we've seen here. So basically, you'll get into periods of time where you're in between two major fib zones. So this is implying that we go down further. This is implying that we hold these levels and go up. And you get some consolidation between those levels. That's what we've been dealing with. Now, we held this weekly block here, which is this candle here on the weekly. And so this entire range is basically in play for support. So we held that. We had a peekaboo low out of that really briefly. We call those scam wicks because they grabs a bunch of stops, and then ultimately the big players want to push higher, and that's what happened there. We're revisiting this zone. So drilling down into the 4-hour chart, that's actually this line here at about approximately 8180. So anywhere in that zone, 8180, 8200, in that area, I would be looking to get long, guys. We also have a descending wedge coming in here, which is bullish. Typically, these will break back up to the upside. So again, the way we measure those real quickly, if we take the measurement of the actual start of the wedge, and we take that, it's a 6% move there. But wherever this breaks out from, so if we come down to this level here and we break, let's say we break out of it here. Let's say price does one of these numbers. This is a 4-hour chart now, so let's just say price does one of these numbers and breaks out here. Okay, then we would measure from there, and the measured move would take us back up to about 9K. And I think that'd be pretty realistic. Gets us back up into this prior area where price was supported and then rejected. And I think that's a nice move. That's about a 7% move out of this descending move that we have here. So that's what I'm looking for this week, guys. That's a sweet spot in that area. Note the VWAPs. The big VWAPs are this green one is the yearly VWAP. Okay, so that's based on all of the price action in 2018. Then you have the developing one, which is this thin line here, and currently giving us a reading of about 8,600. And we've started to lose those levels. We also have a monthly VWAP here at around 8560. or 8600 I should say, sorry. And we're breaking those levels. So we're losing a bit of VWAP support here. And then I go and look at our other VWAP levels. These are prior monthly VWAP levels, and price tends to react to those. And currently that's what we're sitting on here at 8400. But this lower level here I think is on the table this week, which takes us down to that 8200 area. So if this falls through there and runs into that zone, don't freak out. I think that's perfectly acceptable as far as a pullback goes, and we bounce from there. So we do have several things lining up around that 8200 area for a bounce. On the crypto fear and greed, nothing really to talk about here. We're at a 38. We'll give some notice when this thing heads back down towards 20 and lower, and maybe we'll see that on a dip down toward the low 8s that we talked about. And kind of a big picture just to check in where we are. Again, this is the cycle repeat graph. So if we're repeating the tendencies that we see between the halving cycles, where we peak out about a year and a half after the halving, and then we go into a bear market for a year and a half, and then we come out of that. If we go off of that cycle, we're actually doing a lot better than where we would have been at this point in time, which would be around the low 5s. So we've actually done quite a bit better this year in coming out of that, exiting out of that bear market. And I think we're going to see, typically you're going to see some consolidation, a move up into December, some pullback consolidation, and then a move higher. So I think structurally we're going to see something similar to what we see here. But we are getting, just keep in mind, we are getting into that point in the cycle where things tend to range quite a bit and consolidate. But the big thing here, guys, will be breaking the trend line that we currently are under. So all we're looking for, as far as basically this downtrend correction off of this larger up move out of the bear market is over, is basically this. We're going to be taking a look at this trend line there. Basically, we want to see that one get broken. And you can even draw one like that too as well. But essentially, that is going to be where we structurally see a change. You're looking for a weekly close above that. And I think that's going to signal a move toward that 14K mark, which I showed you guys on that quarterly graph. Once that breaks, no more 10K levels. Anything sub 10K, this is the last call for that stuff. And then we're basically heading toward the pre-halving area. And really the price appreciation will be post-halving, because then you're actual dealing with less output, half of the daily output that we currently have. And that's really where you're going to see this big price explosion. So we can talk about pre-halving being priced in, but we still have 1,800 Bitcoins a day being produced that need to be absorbed. And I think you're going to have people that are accumulating right now and getting positioned, but you really see the manifestation of that when that drops down to 900 or so per day. And that's going to be really exciting stuff second half of 2020. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Please hit like and subscribe. Really helps out our channel and helps us keep bringing you this content. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Trade Genius.